Hello everyone. In this video, I will share some useful tips and strategies to help you with your trading. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, I'd like to review the EURUSD chart from the past few days and discuss the outlook for the future. Before we begin, let me explain two key points about my analysis method. The first point is multi-time frame analysis. To confirm the long-term trend, I start by analyzing the weekly chart, followed by the daily 4-hour and 1-hour charts. Checking the long-term trend is essential in trading. When making an entry, I also analyze the 15-minute and 5-minute charts. Additionally, I follow Dow Theory for my analysis. To briefly explain, an uptrend is defined by higher highs and higher lows, while a downtrend is defined by lower highs and lower lows. A trend reversal occurs when this pattern breaks. If the price breaks below the most recent low after reaching a high, a downtrend begins. All right, let's take a look at the Euro to USD chart. First, here's a breakdown of last week's price action. The yellow vertical line marks the start of the week. On the daily chart, price was in an uptrend, but capped by a green resistance line, forming a symmetrical triangle. It eventually broke out to the upside, pulled back for a retest, and then resumed the uptrend. When price breaks out of a triangle in the direction of the trend, it often presents a good entry opportunity. But remember, don't rush in at the breakout. It's usually better to wait for the pullback, the so-called return move, before entering. Now, the recent bullish move was strong enough to break above the weekly resistance line with a solid candle close. That confirms an uptrend on the weekly chart as well. From here, there are two possible scenarios: a short-term sell opportunity or a long-term buy setup on a pullback. So let's zoom out and start fresh with the weekly chart. Here's the structure I'm seeing. There was a strong drop in the past, and I was paying close attention to this weekly resistance line. As I mentioned earlier, price broke above that level last week, confirming a trend reversal on the weekly time frame. That said, it's risky to buy right now from this level. We could see a pullback before the next leg up. For safer trades, it's best to wait for a clean bullish setup after a pullback. Also, just like I mentioned in the last video, we might even be seeing the early formation of a large inverse head and shoulders here. Moving on to the daily chart, we're clearly in a strong uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. Here's the current swing low, the key support. As long as price stays above that level, the daily trend remains bullish. Given that both the weekly and daily charts are showing strength, we should be focused on finding buying opportunities. If price keeps pushing higher from here, we might look for short-term sell setups, but only near previous resistance levels. Keep an eye on how price reacts when it pulls back and retests those levels, especially that weekly resistance, which might now act as support. Next, let's look at the 4-hour chart. We're still in an uptrend here as well. This is the current 4H swing low, and until that breaks, we stay bullish. Momentum is clearly strong. So across the weekly, daily, and 4H charts, we're in a solid uptrend. This is a market where we want to look for buying opportunities. Now for the scenarios going forward, the main plan is to look for longs, not shorts. We're watching for a pullback into that 4-hour support area. If price holds and we see a bullish reversal on the lower time frame, that could be a great entry for a continuation move. This could also be the right shoulder of that inverse head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart. And at this level, risk-reward could be very favorable. As for potential short trades, if price continues climbing and hits the purple resistance line, we could see a short-term pullback. If we get a clear reversal pattern on the lower time frames, a short trade might be possible. But remember, this would be counter-trend, so you need to be extra careful. The bigger trend is still up, so trade cautiously. How did you find today's analysis? If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I hope your trades go smoothly and successfully. Best of luck.